Good afternoon, Dr. Bonsai. Dr. Bonsai's Bean Emporium. I have an unboxing. However, I already unboxed it because I didn't realize my camera was shut off. So, go me. But so this is kind of a slightly out of box review. Here's the box. Beautiful artwork on it. You get 5 mechs, 5 mech warrior cards, 5 Alpha Strike cards. That's that for the wrapper. And you get your paperwork. So you get your double-sided pilot card, so you can use these as kind of like persona, like dramatis personae. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that incorrectly with my horrendous Midwestern accent. And you can just, especially if you're involving combat with any one of these factions, and you want to use these mechs as well. So it looks fantastic. And then we're going to look at the Alpha Strike cards. So the Alpha Strike cards, what you'll notice is the model number for these 2C mechs are in the upper left-hand corner. That's actually not like a point value, because points value is right there. So this is the Locus 2C10, for example. Locus 2C. You have the Jenner 2C. You have the Jenner 2C5. You have the Griffin 2C. You have the Griffin 2C9. Shadowhawk 2C11. Shadowhawk 2C, the Black Python, and the White Raven, which is the L-Clan Dark Age iteration. What I also did is I found all the miniatures that they have derivations of. So for example, the Jenner 2C, I've got all my Jenners. The Shadowhawks, I got all the Shadowhawks that they've released, that kind of thing. So I'm going to take a look at each one of these and then kind of compare and contrast them to what they did with the Intersphere mech. So this is the Black Python. It doesn't compare to anything as far as I'm aware of. It doesn't have like a genetic descendant, so to speak, that it came from the Intersphere. It looks fantastic. It's actually a really sharp sculpt too. Everything is really nicely detailed and sharp. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Not much to write home about the Black Python. Looking great. Then you have the Shadowhawk 2C, which is actually 10 tons lighter than a Shadowhawk. And you can see the missile tubes are fairly well articulated. Gun ports, for as small as this particular machine is, it's looking pretty good. And then you have the Locus 2C, which is very sleek. Basically like kind of this really modernized improvement of the regular Locust. And then you have the Griffin 2C, which again 10 tons lighter than the standard Intersphere Griffin, loaded with missiles. Really beautiful sculpt. Not seeing any loss of detail any place. It looks pretty sharp. Looks pretty good. And then we have, last but not least, the Flying Saucer Boy, the Jenner 2C. The missile doors are nicely articulated on the sculpt. So are the jump jets, the blast channels for where the missile exhaust would come out. Looking really good. Great looking little sculpt. So we'll get this out of the way. I'll start to kind of compare. So I'm going to lower my camera down here. Hopefully that's not too intrusive. So first things first, we'll take a look at the Locust, and the first Locust that we have to compare it to is the Intersphere standard 1V Locust that comes in the Game of Armor Comet box set. So you can clearly see the it's almost like they stripped down the 2C variation and made it slimmer and leaner in some places, and then you have the miniature from the Alpha Strike box, which is the Locust E, which is probably its most closely related variant. But as you can see, the gun is on top, not on the chin. Not nearly the same amount of lasers. Both looking really incredible, so you can kind of see the heritage that the Locus 2C came from. And then you have the Jenner 2C versus the Jenner, just the Jenner. So you see they changed the leg architecture, The head is a little bit bigger. The back has changed substantially, as well as the arms. The backs are, I don't know, you can definitely see where the clan's made a lot of improvements. So there's the Jenner, and then you have a fun one here. So you have the Griffin 2C, and then you have standard Griffin from the beginner box. So as you can see, it's looking really sharp. Not that much of a height difference or size or bulk difference, really. And I think that's probably down to the more advanced clan materials, giving them kind of a better weight ratio, power to weight ratio, as far as these mechs go. But so there's that, and then you have the other Griffin, the Kellhound's Griffin with the LRM-20 on it. So you can see again a lot in common with both of these iterations. So put those right there. And then finally you have the Shadowhawk 2C, and you can kind of see, oh, it's a little blocky guy. And then you have this version. You'll have to forgive the drill out here because those barrels weren't, or those missile barrels for the LRM-5 weren't drafted all the way out. So you can kind of see where like if you squint and hold them like 3 feet away from you, you can kind of understand where the design came from. So that's the standard Shadowhawk that comes in the Game of Armored Combat, and this is the, I want to say the Hansen's Rough Riders one. It's the jumping iteration with the LB-10X. I'm not sure which lance pack that came from. So you can see again. Sculpt is fairly well handled. You can definitely see the genetics between the two, and then you have all three. So what do I think? I think it looks really good. I think these were really competently done. I think these are worthy inheritors of the crazy anime looking versions. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of these. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Trying to keep it nice and short, and we're on to the next one. Bye.